Hello, 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 everyone. Let's see who's going to join us this evening. I know everybody's got to get back into the normal routine before the next holiday hits. So let's see here. If you are hanging out with us, go ahead and please say hello so we know that you're here. And we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello, Miss Sue. So glad to see you. All right. All right. I'm going to share real quick with our group so everybody can find us. And like I said, if you're coming to hang out, just go ahead and let us know here. All right. Got to find us on the iPad. And there we are. And groups. And there's the VIP. And there is our team. All right. So we are all shared up and we are good to go. All right. Let's see who else. Oh, hey, Barb. So glad you could make it. Miss K. Thank you, ladies. I see you're over on the YouTube. That's awesome. All right. So real quick, Paper Pumpkin, we are almost through with the December subscription period. So you have until the 10th, which is Wednesday, to get in on the December kit if that is something that interests you. It is a non-holiday kit. This one is called Watercolor in Bloom. So it says to show your love and appreciation with rich watercolor hues and elegant botanical flourishes. It will make 9 cards through each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. You will receive copper foil and copper sequins. You'll get pre-cut paper and vellum pieces, and the coordinating colors will be copper, garden green, night of navy, pretty peacock, secret sea, and shaded spruce, and the ink spot will be night of navy. It will coordinate with these cute little add-on dies. These are the Abundant Joy, and these will coordinate with all 3 of this last quarter's Paper Pumpkin. So we are done with that. We are going to get moving along. We are going to make 3 really cute cards, and they are all featuring the A Child is Born stamp set. Really cute. These are quick, easy cards. But they are beautiful. To get these card kits, this is the first Sunday of the month. So this one is available for you to get. All you have to do is place a $40 or more order in my online store between now and the 15th of the month. And once you place that order, I will, by the 20th, ship out the card kits of the cards we're making tonight. So you can receive these kits being the first Sunday of the month by placing an order in the online store, and then I will ship the kits to you. And we'll make sure you get them so that you can use them for Christmas cards. Tonight's cards, we have For Unto Us, A Child is Born. And then when you open it up, and it's, again, we're using that gorgeous Lights of Aurora paper, or I forget the name of it. I have it here. And then we have inside, when they saw the star, they rejoiced. And then the cute little lamb or sheep. And then we have here, Oh Holy Night, all is calm, all is bright, with the cute little baby lamb here. And then, of course, we have our little book fold card. And this one is Oh Holy Night. And when you open it up, we have that little extra accented paper in there, and then Oh Come, Let Us Adore Him. So really quick, easy cards. We're doing some embossing tonight. Just some fun, easy cards that, again, you can very easily recreate at home. And this set happens to be on last chance, and it is discounted as well. I believe it's discounted to $18. It was like $21 or $23. They've now got it marked down to $18, I did see. Okay, so there's my bone folder. So we're starting with a card base 11 by 4 1/4. We have it scored at 5.5, and we're going to go ahead and fold in half. Hey, sis, glad you could make it. So you're surviving this frigid weather. I'm freezing. I don't know about anybody else here in New York, but I am like really cold. So I've actually brewed tea, and I'm not usually a tea drinker, but I'm doing tea to warm up. Anyhow, okay, so we have here our card base. Then I have a really fun piece of vellum. I'm so glad they brought vellum back. It is now in 12 by 12 packs. And this is cut to 5 by 3 3/4. And that is going to layer on the front of our card like so. But before we do that, I do have some pieces of designer series paper, and that paper is from the Lights. It is Lights of Aurora. And as you can see, I've been using a lot of this paper. I've got lots of bits and pieces that I have saved. So this is definitely a favorite. You get multiples of one design. I think it's like 8 sheets of each design. And like I said, I've been using it a lot this season. But anyway, I have 4 pieces. 2 of them are cut at 1 3/4 by 3. And then I have 2 pieces, which are just the reverse of this, that are 1 3/4 square. Oh, I'm sorry, Sherry, you've been sick. I hope you start feeling better. Yeah, nah, the snow and this cold are just terrible. All right, so we're going to start with our 3" by 1 3/4 inch pieces here, and we're going to add our adhesive as soon as I can figure. There it is. Figure out what I did with it. All right, so we're going to add adhesive. And we're just going to make sure we have 3 equal borders. Oop. On our designer paper. Okay, there's one. And then we're going to take the other. Oop. I have runaway adhesive over here. Okay. Then this one is going to come over here. And again, we want those 3 borders. There we go. All right. So now we can take one of our 1 3/4 square pieces. Oop. If I can get my, there we go. Stop swinging around here. All right, so now we're just going to go ahead and put the bottom one in. There we go. Oh, I'm sorry. You sound like Minnie Mouse. All right, so now we're going to take the second piece and we are going to find our stars. So here's our stamp with the stars. And I'm going to find my gorgeous grape ink pad. And we're going to ink it up. Okay. So now we're just going to stamp this off to the side like so. So now we can close up the ink pad. We're going to add our adhesive again. And get that lined up. Like so. Now, I don't know if you can see here, our adhesive does show through our vellum, but once we have it down on our cardstock, our card base, you're never going to see that. We're going to add that. And now we're going to add it to our card front. And that goes right on the center. And that looks pretty good right there. So there is the start of our card front. I did go ahead and I punched out a piece of basic white, and I used our 2 3/8 inch circle punch. See that here? It's a little glare, but it's 2 3/8. And I did go ahead and do that ahead. So I have that right here. And we're going to go ahead and stamp that with "For unto us a child is born." That's that one. That's that one. All right, where is it? Here it is. And again, we're using our gorgeous grape. Ink it up. I agree, Sherry. This paper is absolutely beautiful. It's some of my favorite paper ever. It's called Lights of Aurora. All right, so now I want to go down towards the bottom here of our punched circle. And we're going to say, "For unto us a child is born." We're going to close that up for a minute. And then we're going to bring in a Memento Black. And we're going to stamp our little manger. So we're going to ink that up. Now, if you are one who loves to fussy cut and it doesn't bother you to fussy cut and you enjoy fussy cutting, you could actually stamp that manger on a separate piece and pop it up with some dimensionals on here, and that would look great. I just prefer not to fussy cut, so I did not. All right, so now we have some of this beautiful balmy blue sheer ribbon. We're going to go ahead and we're going to make a nice big bow. Maybe. Maybe not quite that big. Pull that nice and tight. And then I'm going to get our snips. And there we go. Now I just need a glue dot which I have right up here. Oops, knocking the stamps over. And this is going to run about like so. So our glue dot will hold it perfectly in place. And then we're going to take some dimensionals. Not used to having long sleeves on because I'm usually melting. And my sleeves are catching on everything. All right, so that goes down like so. And then before we put our little embellishments on, we're going to go ahead and we're going to open up. And for this one, I used When They Saw the Star, They Rejoiced. So here it is. And again, we're using Gorgeous Grape. Get my sleeves out of the way because I'm going to knock everything down. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. And that's going to go on our inside right here. And then where are those little stars? We got these little sparkly stars. And we're just going to go up here in the corner like so. And we need our little lamb. And we're going to use our memento. He's going to go down here in the bottom corner, just like so. Now, cover that up. And now we can bring in, these are the frosted iridescent dots. And we're just gonna grab one there. I think husband has gone ahead and got the wood stove really rocking because I feel it warming up here. Not really that cold anymore. Either that or the tea is really doing its job. There is card number 1. And it looks like I got my little manger on here just a little. Crooked. There we go. That looks better. There is our card. Well, thank you, ladies. It could be both. You're right. Okay. There is our first card. Card number 2. This one I love with the silver embossing powder. I think it's gorgeous. Anyway, so for this one, we're going to start with another thick basic white card base, 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. So we're going to go ahead and fold on that score line. And we're just going to burnish that out like so. Next, we have a piece of that beautiful designer paper. This is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's going to fit completely over our card front. And we're going to go ahead, add our adhesive and do just that. It's going to cover our card front. Perfect fit. Okay, so there's that. Next up, I have a piece of basic white. This is 5 by 3 1/4. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do some stamping and embossing. So we're going to start with my little embossing buddy. And again, I highly recommend not skipping this step. This does get off any little oily prints from your fingers from handling the cardstock. It does eliminate any static electricity so that your powder only sticks to where you want it to. It does definitely make a difference in your project when you are embossing. If you feel really lucky, you can skip the process, but it definitely does make a difference. All right, so I'm going to get my tools here. And I'm going to start with my Versamark ink. And I have here my nativity scene. It's the Joseph, Mary, and baby Jesus. And we're going to ink this up really well with our Versamark. So we're going to get that inked up. Okay. And then this, we're going to try to hit the center of this the best we can. It doesn't have to be perfect, but because eventually we will be doing some tearing. There we go. That looks pretty good. Make sure you put enough pressure because it is a larger stamp. Side there. Okay, so now we have our image stamped on here. I know you can't see it. It's in that clear sticky ink. And now I have my silver embossing powder. Oh, congratulations. My husband had the game on downstairs. And the Bears were starting to make a little bit of a comeback there for a minute, but apparently not enough. All right, so now we're just going to sprinkle our silver powder. And even doing that process, we still get those little strays that like to okay, I think I got it. All right, now I'm going to clean up my little mess here. This toolkit from Stampin' Up does, I have to say, make cleanup pretty slick. there's the little funnel here, so I can funnel it right back in, but I don't even worry about that. I just open up my container and I just sweep it back in from the corner. And that's all put back. Put our top back on. Set that aside. And then we need our tweezers so we don't burn our fingers. And our heat tool. Oop. I'm knocking everything over here. All right, I like to let my heat tool heat up for a minute before I actually put it on my paper. It does help with a little bit of the warping if you do it this way. So now we can bring it to our project. And you're looking for it to turn shiny. And there it is. It's going to start getting shiny. Because it melts the powder. Okay. Looks like it's right there. Okay. We got that all melted now. And you see how shiny that is? Well, if I can capture it in there. There we go. You can see the shine. And it's got dimension to it. It's really beautiful. I love embossing. All right. Next up, I need, what did I do with it? I had my water painter here. Yep, right here it is. And my little paper towel. And we need our Misty Moonlight. So I'm going to be watercoloring with my ink pad here, and it is Misty Moonlight. So what I'm going to do is I like to hold it upside down and then give it a good squeeze to transfer color from the pad into my lid. All right, so now I'm going to give it a little squeeze, my little ink here, my little pen, and let that excess water run into my paper towel. And then I'm just going to add a little water. So I'm only covering the baby Jesus. So I'm going to soak him down just a little bit. And it doesn't mean soak him down, because if you get this paper too wet, it will warp. So now I'm going to get up a little color. Water. And we're just going to do a little coloring. There we go. And then all you do is just run a little water through and onto your paper towel until your pen runs clean. And that's all there is to cleaning your water painter. So we got that. Now we can go ahead and I'm going to stamp a couple little stars on here. So I got the little stars. Got my Misty Moonlight. Let's do those there. And maybe like so. Okay. So now, close this up. We're going to go ahead and we're just going to tear you always want to tear towards yourself. That gives you better control over your tearing. And the thing with the technique like this, tearing, no two cards are going to be identical. Of course, they have their similarities, but they're never going to be identical because you're never going to tear it exactly the same. But it is a kind of a cool effect. All right, now we're going to grab our dimensionals again. And before we put this onto our card, so we have that ready to go, I'm going to bring back our powder on everything. But there we go. Bring back our beautiful blue sheer ribbon. And we're just going to tie a bow. And it's tweezers because I like tweezers when I'm tying bows. There we go. Trim our tails. Peel our backings. There's that part. Next, we need our sentiment, which we're doing Oh Holy Night. And we need our Misty Moonlight. Oh Holy Night. Now, this is a new punch. This came out in the November online exclusives. It is a bundle. It does bundle with the banner sayings, it's called. And it's punches these 3 different banner pieces. We're going to use this middle one here. I'm just going to get that lined up in there straight. There we go. That looks pretty good. You can save that one for a bonus project. So yeah, that's a brand spanking new punch. And with this, we're just going to use, oh, do I have my mini dimensionals over here? I think I do. I do. All right, so we'll just grab a couple minis. Boop. So there's that. And then for the inside, we did all is calm, all is bright. So that's this one here. And again, we're using our Misty Moonlight. Try to get that straight in there. All is calm, all is bright. And then we want our little lamb. He is right here. Ah, you got the punch. Good for you, Sue. It is, I think, going to be one of them ones you're going to reach for all the time. All right, and there is our sweet little baby lamb. All right, so now we're done with that. And now we can close up our ink pad. We're going to add our little frosted dots here. There it is. And we're going to put pretty pink, blue, and do a purple down here. And that finishes card number 2. Thank you, Miss Kay. I love this whole stamp set. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's one of my faves. And I had fun tonight making cards with it. You gonna get up here, bud? Tucker's decided to come join us. Good boy. All right. We are on to our final card. This is our Lights of Aurora paper again. And this is our book fold, which love this card. All right. So for this one, things are a little different. We have a basic black card base. And this one I have cut 4 1/4 by 10 1/2. And then you're going to score it at 5 1/2 and 4 1/2. So, no. 5 5 1/4 and 4 1/4. Those are our score lines. So it's 4 1/4 by 10 1/2, scored at 5 1/4 and 4 1/4 because you have a 1 inch here. So we're going to take our bone folder and we're going to burnish. And then this one we're going to fold back because this is where our card opens. And then between the score lines, we are going to add adhesive. You could use tear and tape because you do want this to stay closed and not come open. And that's what creates your book fold. I agree, Barb. With that paper, with the embossing, absolutely gorgeous. And if you're not a big fan, I mean, of course you could color. If you love to sit and color, stamp a bunch of panels with this nativity scene and then sit down one night and just color. And then you can put cards together the next day. I say go for it. But I'm over the whole coloring thing lately because I've done a lot of it. And now I'm just trying to pump out the Christmas cards that I need. And coloring is not on my list of things to spend time doing right now. So to not have to color or to just highlight maybe, again, the one card we just highlighted, Baby Jesus, that's fine. But again, you're not spending a lot of time coloring, but you still have gorgeous cards. I love this fold 2K. It's one of my favorites because it's simple, but it just makes your cards different. Okay, so there is our book fold. Next, I have some Designer Series paper, obviously, and one is cut 4 inches square. And then this one is cut 4 inches by 3/4 of an inch. And basically, if you can see, it was part of this whole piece of paper and we just separated those pieces away. So we're going to start by adhering the 3/4 inch piece down in its place, which is right here. This one, before we adhere it, we're going to do a little embossing. So we're going to bring back our little embossing buddy. And that's now prepped and ready to go. Okay. So, as always, we want our Versamark and we need our nativity scene. And we're going to ink them up all nicey nice. Like so. Then we're just going to try to go for center here. Again, large stamp. Make sure you're putting enough pressure to transfer all of that ink to our paper. And that looks pretty good. All right, for this one, we're using white embossing powder. So we're going to bring this over. And we're going to bring our white. And yes, I'm making a big mess, but my mess is contained. That's what I love about this little tool kit the Stampin' Up gave us. And there's my brush. I shouldn't say gave us. We have to purchase it, but you know what I mean. They provided a tool for us to purchase that keeps our messes under control. Because Lord knows I am a nightmare when it comes to stuff like this. And I even use these bigger containers instead of the little pots because I knew I would be a mess maker. Okay, we're going to close that up so we don't make any more of a mess than we already have. Get this all set aside. Grab our tweezers to grab this. And again, let this tool heat up for a minute before we touch our paper. Yes, they do. All right, now we're going to melt. And I'm just watching to make sure everything turns shiny, to know that it's melted. And make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we're good. Yep, we're good. Everything looks melted. Okay, so there's that. So now we can go ahead and add our adhesive. Oop. A little extra adhesive because we did warp a little bit, which is normal when you're embossing like that. There we go. Then again, this beautiful ribbon. And that is going to come right around the book fold. My other tweezers right there. All right, and then we're just going to tie a bow. Okay. Looks good. I'm just going to trim our tails. Looks good. All right. I have a little scrap of basic white here for our sentiment. And again, we're using the Oh Holy Night again. This time we want our Memento Black. And that is going to go right about there. And there's Oh Holy Night. And again, bringing in that new 3-banner punch. Get that lined up. And mini dimensionals. I do too, Barb. The font it's a really pretty font. All right, now I have a piece of basic white that is 4 inches square. And I have a piece of that designer series paper. This is 1 inch by 4 inch. And we're just going to run some adhesive. And we'll just put that, leave about 1/4 of an inch up from the bottom. Then we're going to stamp Oh, come and adore him. So again, we want our memento. And that's going to go right there. And then this goes on the inside, just like that. And then more of these beautiful little frosted dots. And that completes our final card. So we'll do a real quick recap. So we have our book fold for our final card. We have here our silver embossed And then we have our blocked DSP with our manger. Well, thank you, Sue. I'm so glad you like them. Same Kay, thank you so much. Thank you, Barb. Glad you enjoyed them. Hopefully this inspired you to get a little crafty with your card making this weekend. This will probably be our final Christmas stamping set. I think I'm going to start diving into some of the new November online exclusives. I do have product coming in from the catalog pre-order as well. So I'm starting to start transitioning out of the holiday themed. I think we're all Christmased out on our crafting now, probably. It's time to start moving on to the new seasons and start thinking spring, because this cold weather is miserable already and it's just begun. So we'll start thinking spring maybe. So, all right, ladies, again, thank you as always for coming to hang out with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, always. And I thank you for spending your Sunday evening with me. And I wish you a fabulous rest of your evening and an even better week ahead. And on God willing, I will see you next week. Again, something non-Christmas. Yeah, Kay, I think this, ugh. And it's just begun. That's the sad part. So anyway, we're going to start thinking spring and maybe warm up our thoughts. Oh, Barb, you're so welcome. All right, ladies, have a great rest of your evening. And like I said, next week, we'll be doing something non-holiday. Have a great day, guys. Bye for now.